Okay, the plan for today is to catch up with the weeding that I've put off for way too long and maybe harvest some things. I definitely think we're going to be able to harvest some nasturtium, and then we might be able to get some snap peas, just the first harvest of those. And then we got to pull the radishes because those are done and bolting. Let's see what we can do. Welcome to the garden. I just got back from a run, so I'm already hot and sweaty, and I have let the weeds in the garden go for way too long. Plus, I think we have a lot that we can be harvesting, so let's go see what we can get done in maybe 30 minutes. A lot of snap peas coming in. Some of them feel plump enough. I mean, these are so tall that they have literally outgrown the height of my trellis. They're so sweet and delicious. Oh God. I had a bucket in here, and it has been raining over the last couple days, so it filled up with water, and I just found a dead chipmunk that had crawled in there and drowned. And I am horrified. I also feel really bad. The bucket is now upside down so it doesn't fill with water, and that doesn't happen again. Okay. Let's move on. This is the bed that is really not doing that well. I mean, the plants are not dead. This is my eggplant bed. They're just not growing. I don't know if eggplant just like takes a while or what the deal is, but these two that look nice are not eggplants, they're tomatillos. Not much I can do about it right now. I'm just gonna weed out the few weeds I do see. This tomato and basil bed is doing honestly beautifully. The basil is finally starting to grow. These front tomato plants are throwing out some flowers. I'm gonna cut some of the branches on the tomato plants so that they can focus on branches that are producing flowers. I'm gonna weed this bed, and I'm gonna add another string to my Florida weave method because these are growing like crazy. This guy in particular is almost like growing sideways, so he's the one that really needs more support, and he's one of the ones putting out flowers, so we gotta give him some special attention. My thought process with trimming down some of the branches is I know that eventually some of them will put out flowers, but I wanted to focus on less fruit, better fruit, rather than the most amount of fruit at a mediocre quality. I'm gonna cut off like 25% of the branches that are being thrown out. I do really like this Florida weave method because it has really given me a marker for how much my tomatoes have grown, and so it's making me like appreciate the growth because I'm not seeing it or even really noticing it, but because I have these markers, I am. Now let's move on to the most atrocious bed when it comes to weeding, my garlic bed. I have really let this go, and so there are kind of an insane amount of weeds. So I'm gonna do my best. It's not gonna be perfect. All right, in this bed, the Brussels sprouts are coming along wonderfully. And then in the back, we have the marigolds. One yellow one has bloomed, and the rest of them are super close to blooming. And this bed doesn't have a ton of weeds, so I can kind of speed run this guy. This is my radish, carrots, and chives bed. I also have 2 rosemary plants in here. I think the radishes are done. The ones that didn't come in, which are like a smaller round variety, they just didn't come at all. Now they're bolting, so I gotta pull them. I'm gonna try again, because I have enough time this season to plant them once more, and we'll see if I can get more. All right, and then in this last big bed are a bunch of herbs. I have my first lavender flower coming up here in the corner, and then my rhubarb over here, which I've kind of just let go. I've got arugula, which I feel like I should pick because it looks like it's about to bolt, but the leaves also don't look very big, so That one has kind of confused me. Anyway, looks like something's also eating my nasturtium, so I'm gonna go in with a little sprinkle of cayenne pepper. And then last but not least, we have more nasturtium, which these plants are doing much, much better than the small ones over there. And then all my snap peas, which are growing on the other side of this trellis. So I'm gonna harvest the nasturtium, the smaller nasturtium leaves and the flowers, because we're gonna make a salad out of them tonight. I'm also gonna do the bigger snap peas and maybe some herbs. So a lot of pods of my snap peas have come in, but not a lot of them feel quite plump enough to pull. Only some of them do. So I don't think the harvest will be very big today. Last thing I'm going to do in this garden is fertilize and then water. And then I put my radishes in here and my herbs in here, and I'm going to rinse those off. And then I'm calling it a day. I'm tired. Here's the harvest we ended up with. I feel good about this. I'm too tired to express other emotions at this point, but that's it. Follow along if you want more stressful yet relaxing gardening content. I hope I don't find any more squirrels or chipmunks that are not alive.